First proposal I covered already. Every elected official in the state of Wisconsin would take a 50% pay cut until the unemployment level is below 5%, and we would call that good times. People could pay taxes, feed their kids, pay their mortgages, and then when things got better, we would bring the pay scale of the public officials back up to where it is today. Now, it might sound like a real crimp for an elected official in the state of Wisconsin to live on, say, $22,000 a year, but I'll bet there's a lot of people in Walworth County that used to call that a real living.
First thing I'd do is repeal combined reporting. Combined reporting was brought about by the Doyle administration. It's a system of taxation by which if a parent corporation owns more than 50% of its subsidiaries, any locale, they have to report that as income, since the tax is through the roof. Okay, it was a sneaky way to get a heck of a lot more taxes out of our biggest businesses. Some of our biggest employers here in the state of Wisconsin, for example, combined reporting is costing Harley-Davidson $22.5 million and is one of the leading reasons that Wisconsin icon is thinking about leaving the state. It's one simple thing. It's the very first thing I would do to allow the tax rate to go down for our large employers who have those corporate subsidiaries and allow them to expand, remain in the state, keep the jobs in the state, expand and add more jobs.
Well, I think one of the first things that I would do is repeal Governor Doyle's many tax increases and hidden tax fees. I'll give you an example of a hidden tax fee is what they passed earlier this spring. They passed the garbage tax fee. Now that affected my family's small business. They raised the fee 120%. And in essence, it was over $7 more a ton. It may not sound like a lot, but last year we hauled in over 21,000 tons of garbage. Well, that adds up to about $160,000 more than we have to pay to the state, on top of what we've already been paying, about $150,000. And so what that does is that hurts a small business. It puts pressure on, like, our family business, but it's been taxes that Governor Doyle has been doing in the legislature on virtually every business. They can find a way to tax you. And so what that does is that it hurts us as businesses to hire more people, to replace tired old garbage trucks, vehicles, equipment. And so that's one of the things that I would like to try to bring less pressure on businesses and remove some of the stuff that hurts small businesses. We need to build a stronger economy by, well, let me say this, that we need to, when it comes to the budget, we need to reduce every department's budget by 5 to 10%. That'd be a good start. And
they're all good ideas. I think that we need legislation that requires a balanced budget without raiding segregated funds. Right now, the budget is suffering at a great loss. I believe it's $2.5 billion at the present time, billion, excuse me. And that we're looking at that funding coming from different sources, whether it be the highway fund or other ones. I think that we need to look at how the state runs. I believe we do need to cut our costs. We do need to have a balanced budget. I don't believe that anyone who runs a small business can live at a deficit long or function at a deficit long, and that prudent government should be forced to do the same.
While the mic's on its way back, I want to restate this question, which is, if elected, what is the first proposal you would attempt to author and why?
I mentioned one of the proposals earlier. There's a lot to pick from. I've got a lot going on in this mind of mine about ways that we can help to make Wisconsin better. But and folks have touched on the jobs, et cetera. But I want to touch on a subject that hasn't been brought up yet. Within the first couple of weeks of being sworn in, if I'm elected, I'll author a strong photo ID requirement to vote in the state of Wisconsin, and it won't be statutory. I plan on introducing a constitutional amendment requiring a state-issued photo ID to vote. We see it happen in Milwaukee, Kenosha, Racine, through my work with the Republican Party across the 1st Congressional District. We see voter fraud happen, and with the economy where it's at, we've seen folks not focus as much on this issue of voter photo ID. Governor Doyle's vetoed it. It's simple. I mean, we all have driver's license. It's pretty easy. I'm Tyler August. When I show up at the poll, here's my ID that says that I am, and that's all there is to it. It's way beyond time for us to require that in the state of Wisconsin to protect every single person's vote. Because for every vote that's casted improperly or illegally, it disenfranchises one of the other legitimate votes that have been passed. So that'd be one of the first things that I would introduce.
I think one of the first things we need to introduce is a absolute freeze on property tax increases. Right now, we're seeing all the values of homes drop in the struggling real estate market. And it's now becoming a disincentive to own a home. And the state is disincentivizing that by having these increased property tax levels as the home values are decreasing. And that's touching everybody across the district, whether you're a homeowner or a landlord renting property. That's going to have the greatest effect on the most amount of people, I feel, and that's where we're being hit hard with foreclosures. We had, I believe it was 2,200 foreclosures just in the month of July alone in the state of Wisconsin. That's over 70 a day. So I really see this as an extremely pressing issue, and so we can get back to a point where our budget is solvent. I believe we need to incentivize owning a home and make it available to people who are willing to work hard and earn it.